teams. Gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast. You just heard our score predictions. Let's hear from you. Aggressor, I'm saying 5-2. James is saying 5-3. What do you think?
5-2, hopefully.
Yeah. All right. So how are you guys feeling after the last match day? Give us the update, Aggressor.
Terrible, but we're going to power through it, and we're going to try to win this one.
So everything's fine?
Everything's fine. I mean, it's a professional environment. You got to get over it.
Fair enough, James.
All right, Greg, last couple match days, even though the results haven't necessarily gone your way, you've looked really sharp. You had that great match versus F7 where you guys really seemed to pull it together. Can you do that again tonight versus Dare?
We'll definitely see. Comparing F7 to Dare really isn't a good comparison. They are two completely different teams. Dare has a lot more experience. They have really strong players. We're definitely going to have our hands full tonight against them.
Okay, so a lot of respect coming from you guys.
Of course.
All right. Well, I don't think there's much more to say. Aggressor, any final words before we let you go?
Good luck, guys. I hope you guys play really well tonight. You're one of the better teams that are new. What are you eating?
Peanut butter.
Out of the jar?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's better than eating a keyboard, I guess.
Is that like a sports game? You know what?
All right, Greg. Any final thoughts for Aggressive or Dare?
Stay hydrated.
You got a little on your shirt.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the battlefield.
Oh, Greg. He's getting it. He's catching on. He's catching on. Just wait.
Better than eating a keyboard. I will just say that much.
I've never eaten the peanut butter out of the jar. I've always needed something to go with that. But so I don't understand how you can just eat peanut butter and be able to speak.
Like something good like raw cookie dough or something like that.
No, peanut butter is delicious. It's just that it seems kind of like it's gonna. It's peanut butter, dude. I mean, it's the consistency of peanut butter.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
We're just
all right. Now that we've been sufficiently distracted by Greg there.
Thank you, Greg.
Let's get some focus back on tonight's matches.
Yes. So
the one thing that I did want to point out though is this map pool I felt actually kind of favors Teal Team 6 a little bit. The one thing I will say.
Okay.
Well, Ruinberg made it through. When you have Mines in there, I think Mines is an equalizer map. I think it's a map where even two teams that are vastly different skill. Yeah. I think it's a map that kind of puts them on more of an even playing field as far as being a one-on-one map. I think that's just being so defensively sided these days. I feel like that that may be a map that actually works in Teal Team 6's favor. And then Mervanka coming up last. That's a map that both these teams have below a 50% win rate, so it's kind of hard to really gauge if any of them are going to be able to play it well.
Well, the thing about map records when it comes down to teams that are the lower half of the bracket. I should say standings. Right. Is it kind of becomes hard to read into their abilities on a lot of maps because they tended to drop a few wins here or there that maybe they shouldn't have, and you see where I'm going.
Yeah.
Simply because those other teams are going to look so good on every map. I am skeptical. Don't read too far into map statistics if you're on the fantasy site. Take them as something to bring in, but I'm not going to say that I expect Dare to drop maps to Teal Team 6. Teal Team 6 seems good, just not good enough to take two maps in a row off of Dare, maybe 1-1s. Okay. That's what I'm looking at. If we see Teal Team 6 take two maps in a row, let's say they take the first two on, they won't take Mines probably, right?
No.
But they could have a chance at
Sand River. Wouldn't be a Hail Mary. I think that's possible.
I feel like I might disagree, but I wouldn't push it because I still feel like Dare's going to play a little bit better. They're a little more confident, more coordinated. Teal Team 6 is going to stand up to that.
Well, let's go with this. If Teal Team 6 are going to pick up the win here and surprise us, what do they need to do?
Yeah.
What does that come down to that's going to push them over the edge in this match?
Yeah, I think Sand River might be the place you're talking about. Maybe, but I think that's pushing it. I think you go 1-1 and make it to a tiebreaker, and that's where you could beat Dare if you're Teal Team 6. But or somehow starting this off very well very early, because we've seen that with Dare. If they don't start off very well, sometimes we've seen them unable to get their footing in the match and kind of lose out that way. But that's usually in the case where they're playing a team like Eclipse or Elevate, not a team like Teal Team 6. So this is a bit of a place where, well, it's a mystery. This isn't the thing where someone's seen the answer. No one's sitting there who knows how to just beat Dare, right?
Yep.
That's Eclipse and Elevate who figured that out. But Teal Team 6, they're going to have to find their own way.
Yep. Now, there's something I want to talk about in a second, but let's go over the lineups real quick. And it relates to the lineups. Teal Team 6 coming here in I7, 2 5As, an E4, 2 Batchats, and a Panzerwagen. And that is going to be Teal Team 6 on the defense. Meanwhile, the attacking side, Dare Rising, a Mouse, 2 5As, an E4, 2 Batchats, and a Patton. Now, we haven't talked about too much about lineup games as far as head games and reading your opponent's lineup.
So where did you want to take this from? Whose perspective?
But let's just talk about it from Teal Team 6's perspective, because if you remember, they had a few blind openings versus F7 the other day, where they were just blind pushes that they executed kind of as counter strats. And maybe that has to do with the read of the lineup they saw. If you're sitting as Teal Team 6 right now, what do you expect Dare Rising to do with this lineup on offense?
Yeah, you're probably expecting a bit of a not too crazy defense. This doesn't seem like anything's too far out of the way, but it is a bit light for a defense. Typically, you'd expect something a little faster. And here's the big tell. It's going to actually be a mid-push. Viral's moving up, and this is going to be an old-school fight. Nice block from Viral. He's going to want to keep those Batchats from moving up the hill so that Crossfires can come on in. That allows Zombie and Supernova up. Now Harmless, Dark Ninja have not gotten the opportunity to get the kind of position that they want to. That allows Greg, Love Hitman, everyone else to kind of peek on up. And so damage right now is in favor of Teal Team 6. But it's still 3v3 on the hill. With that, Viral's put himself out of position, very exposed, and taken quite a bit of damage. He's quite low. Now, Supernova's relatively healthy. He can still try to make a fight out of this, but it's delicate. The wrong player, the wrong move could end up losing this still for Teal Team 6.
He needs to finish off Harmless before he gets around that corner, but no one's going to get the kill shot. Yeah, now, all 3 of these tanks are relatively low, but Supernova has a majority of the HP. Only 2 shots left in Zombie Food's clip. However, Harmless is on reload, so at this point, Teal Team 6 have the advantage, and they're really winning the fight on the hill right now. If Dare are going to get into this, they need their E4 to really get in there and get his HP into that fight and start winning the heavy fight down below, because I don't see them opening up this hill anytime soon.
Wow, Love Hitman just driving out into the open for a shot at Nationwide. Looks like Spooky moves up, does not get the same connection. Greg, about to be loaded, gets Nationwide, and that's going to be the push below the hill. Bit of aggression. Nice play from Teal Team 6. That's some heads-up stuff.
And Viral should go down to Bird. Zombie Food only having 2 shells left. Supernova is actually going to leave the hill as Greg does find the kill onto Durgil. Love Hitman finds Aggressor, and
there we go. That's a nice play right there. Now, Supernova being off the hill, he can stay alive. Send Spooky around, send Zombie. Love Hitman's going to decide to take the hit. There we go. And everyone else can move on in. Nice play from Bird, though, to get a pick up onto Supernova while he can. And, well, it's only a matter of time before 1, 2, 3, My Little Putin is going to go down. There he is. Now it leaves Harmless and Bird alone on the hill. And Bird's managing to get some solid damage out, but there's probably not much more that can be done.
Tracking shot onto Harmless.
Bounce from Love Hitman into Bird, and Bird's going to bounce. One more shell from Bananas should be able to finish him off, and that's going to be it. Battle number 1 goes to Teal Team 6. So good start from Teal Team 6.
Well, we're talking about lineup reads, and that was a complete throwback.
That was
pretty much since the original days of Mines, back when you used to see 1390s bring the 75mm gun just be loaded in time on the hill.
Before physics was in the game.
Yeah.
That's a strategy before you could actually be on the hill and leave it other than the single entrance that existed. There was one way on and off that high ground, and that was where that strat was invented, and it's just stayed. There, for a little while, there were alternate climbs up to that, but they were eliminated.
Yeah, and my point is this, is, if you look at the lineups here, the PZ7, fastest tank in the game at the moment, I believe, or close to it, and it has a little bit of weight to it. So if you see Viral right here, getting the block on those Batchats, slowing it down, and allowing the 2 Batchats from his team to get up there. And they knew, judging by the lineups, there was the 2 Batchats and the Patton on Dare. So they knew, at worst case, it was a 3-on-3 on the hill, and they were set up to get the early damage, and Dare, I think, were just caught a little bit off guard by the raw aggression, and I think a lot of that, once again, comes down to the lineups that they brought and how they read each other at the start of that game.
Yep, I think so. And there we see post-game stats. 1, 2, 3, putting up solid damage in that E4. Right behind him, you got Spooky, Love Hitman, and Greg. Those heavies below the hill. That's where the big breakthrough ended up coming, is there.
And Greg, he's we've criticized him in the past for not necessarily being their strongest player.
That
but
was a strong play from him.
yeah, 2,800 damage, 4 kills, 84 fantasy points. That's a good way to start the night.
Yeah.
Harmless, another 2,657. Bird playing the M48, also putting up another 70 fantasy points. Zombie Food on the second page here, only getting off the 1 clip, and then after that, Supernova only getting off, looks like 4 shots there, bouncing 1 at least, or just missing it. Well, actually, he had a 100% hit rate, so maybe he just never had the chance to fire that last shot.
Yeah, he just did not, barely.
Or hit a track and it fizzed out. Still got the hit.
There were a few of those, you see. Yeah, every single battle. But now we're getting ready to go into battle number 2, flip sides. And that's going to mean we're going to be seeing on attack Teal Team 6. They're going to be bringing 2 113s, 3 mice, and 2 bat chats. On the other side, Dare with Type 5, 2 5As, 2 E4s, bat chat, and a T100. So what do you see from this lineup, continuing that same train of thought from your first battle?
I think this is a ploy. I think they're running the same lineup they ran versus F7 and hoping Dare try to counter out this 1-2 line play, and they're not actually going to go for it this time.
We'll see that. Yeah, I think the Type 5 kind of says
113s are going towards the hill. So if you remember, on the last match day, they pushed Supernova down first. He ate a lot of shells, and then the 113s pushed down late. I think this is Teal Team 6 trying to bait them into that, shifting them towards the 1-2 line, and making sure that they establish hill control and get the rest of the map, and that seems to be the case so far.
Now let's see, little hill control from Zombie Food. Watch for damage coming towards him. And at the same time, this is going to be a slower start, isn't it?
Aggressor, or Supernova taking a blind shot from Dark Ninja. Dark Ninja got lit, understood that which bush Supernova had to be sitting in to light him, and was able to put a shot into him. And process of elimination.
And hey James, how about we go ahead and take a listen in with Dare in just a sec. Listen to what they have to say and how things are going for them. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into Dare's comms.
Get on top and clip him. Let's do that. He can't. He might have
get
left.
on top. Can you get on top?
Do it. You have to do this now. Yeah.
Alright.
Because the mice and shit are gonna be pushing.
You ready? You ready, huh? He's not poking on me like I wasn't getting lit, so you can poke up.
He's there. He's there. No, he spotted me. I just got spotted here. There he is. We hit him though. So can you hit him in dark right there?
I think so.
Take that shot.
How much HP?
1200.
Dark, control the island now. Let's get the rotate. Or they might actually. You just need to stay there, Dark, and hold them.
I'm gonna faint going off.
Just hold it, Dark.
They did not expect to be late. They're definitely going over there.
What'd you say?
I'm just saying, like, that wasn't like trying to bait us. Like,
We're going
like
8 line. They're going. Yeah, they're gonna go 8 line. You can trade with that 113 if he tries to push.
Dark, I'm clipping. Mouse is pushing into mid. No, just kidding.
He wants to.
Now he is. Yeah.
Alright, be careful, Bird. It's gonna be this, so we have to worry about, guys.
Ready for it?
I'm backing up from the mid.
Zombie food's down.
We took 1200.
Wow. Alright, that's good for us then.
What happened?
He
dropped
jumped off the fucking
He didn't.
cliff.
He's supposed to drop off the
Do I
backside there.
Do I need to spot this like earlier? Can I just back up a little bit safer?
Harmon, you think you can move
The
right down
earlier
here
you
and get shots
spotted-
into this guy?
Another
I
shot
think
in the
I have shots.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Alright.
He's just angled for me.
Okay. Nation,
Bro,
you
can you
probably
viral
should
the
do
turn
that, yeah.
his turret or hole? I can maybe do that, but I don't think I can do it safely.
I don't know, P, do you want to rotate here or you want to stay here? Which one's better?
Yeah, I didn't have shots, dude. Second mouse in mid.
Virgil, you have a shot on that.
Yeah, not now. I was looking down 8.
We're just gonna shove them through, and then they're gonna push with the 113 to back just
Spotted.
on the 8 line.
That's fine then.
I'm
Should we try to
rotating
kill
to
the
the wrong.
mouses?
Rotating to the wrong.
Whatever happens, we can kill them.
Did you ask me something, Nation?
Nah. Like,
Okay.
should we try and re-push the mouses if they do that? If they 3 in the mid and push everything else down the 8
Bird,
line?
do you think you could rotate down to this house here?
I don't think I can do it safely because they probably have control of the town.
Do you hear what Nation's asking? Do you think it would be better when those mice push to just
don't
push into
think
the mice
so.
and not give them this shot? Okay.
Okay, we have to.
Oh,
we
they're
have
playing
to kill,
close.
Yeah. We have to kill these guys together is what we need to.
The mice in mid aren't pushing right now.
Let's try and get
Bird,
spooky.
rotate
Try and
around,
work
Bird,
on
rotate
spooky.
around.
Yeah,
help him.
kill these guys.
There you go. Good hit. Somebody get spooky.
Worry about the
226.
mice right now.
36.
I got him. I got him. I bounced.
Bird, I want to be covered for you, Bird.
Nice.
It's fine. We can share HP right now.
Just kill. You guys just kill them. Honestly, they,
Yep.
they
I was waiting for
can't.
the back bats.
Their mice are behind you guys. You can push around. Push
Yeah, go
into
forward,
this.
go forward, go forward.
Push
Good
into
try.
that. Push into that.
Just do 8.
I'll have kill on bananas in 5.
Bats coming for me.
Get the kill on Greg. I'll get
Yeah, I
I'll
got
get
Greg.
bananas.
Fine,
I got
can't help
bananas.
Dark, I'm
Yeah,
clipping.
no,
I should be good as long as you guys shoot him if he crosses island.
Aggressor, you gotta help Dark.
Honestly, you gotta get the fuck out of here then.
I
Go
think
low.
you guys can just turn for him. He won't push me.
Fire rolls.
Without it. Arm, watch
Yeah.
from the bushes. Don't get clipped out.
I
If
mean,
the
if he
bats start
pokes-
shooting at you, I need to know so I can push.
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
Just set up for the bats and it's
Dark,
over.
I'm clipped. You can just push it now and we'll kill him.
Alright.
Mouse cut down.
Last fire.
Nice hit.
Nice. Careful, pressure.
I have shots on the side of the mouse.
Zombie fire. 2 or 3.
down.
Zombies clipped, I think.
I just swayed up
Okay.
the second arm. I'm gonna shoot this mouse.
I'll make sure it
You got
doesn't
the
come
kill.
off the hill.
Going for
Yeah, and Teal Team 6, I think going for some meta games there, trying to outcall Dare there in terms of trying to show one thing, hope that Dare saw their previous match, hope that they were ready to counter it, and try to be the next step ahead. And just not quite there. And Supernova going to be the last one taken down here. Teal Team 6 is going to tie the series up 1-1.
There we go. So ultimately, that attempted play from Teal Team 6 didn't pan out. So Dare was just, we were listening to Dare's comms, so you all heard it out there at home. They were fairly comfortable with what's going on.
Yep.
They weren't caught off guard. They were like, okay, let's deal with this. And everyone seemed to know what was happening. So everything appeared to be under control, and Dare was in a confident place. Teal Team 6, well, they tried something, and it didn't work this time. Now, James, we'll take a look, of course, at the post-game stats and a little bit of replay, and then we'll move on and talk about Sand River. But
Yeah, well, I
first
think
things first, what's your major takeaway from that battle?
Well, major takeaway is Teal Team 6. You know, they're doing what they can to try to read their opponent and counter them, and hoped that after seeing their play versus F7, you know, bring the same lineup, literally the same lineup they were out versus F7 on their Mind's attack.
Yeah.
And you could tell that they were trying to do something completely different with it, and I think they were expecting Dare to try to put a little bit more emphasis on that 1-2 line. But the E-Force and the way that this Mind's defense is set up, they're able to just quickly turn around. Spooky just got absolutely punished trying to make that cross.
And
Nothing
just look
ever
at the
happened.
damage output from Bird 123, Durgel. I mean, Dark Ninja in a T100 managed to get 2K
2K.
damage, and that even on mines, that's not too common. Usually that T100 is going to blow up.
Yeah. And then on second page
wow.
here, you know, just look at all these tanks.
The
Even
bats.
The bats, the mice, the 113s. No one really able to get into the
Yeah.
fight there.
I don't know what you're going to do if you can't get the bats into the fight, because that's what I saw. Is it didn't look like the bats were at all relevant once things got underway, and they didn't really enter the.
Well, and once
the
again, this comes
engagement.
down to the counterplay. What as far as I can read,
Yeah.
I can't say for 100%, but as far as I can read, they were trying to bait them into that 1-2 line play, and they were hoping that enough guns had shifted towards that 1-2 line that Dark Ninja, for example, would rotate in behind and overcommit. And that's what Supernova went back to look for, was he tried to re-push in there and hope that he could catch Dark Ninja out in the open and then have more to work with on that one line since all the guns were turned towards the 8-9 line. But the ploy just never really worked. Dark Ninja was a little bit smarter than that, knew he didn't need to push, and Teal Team 6 lost the round. Now we move on to battle number 3. Teal Team 6 come in here with 2 5As, 4 bad chats, and a 140.
On
Dare.
the other side, Dare 113, 2 5As, a 103B. They're also going to have a Patton and plenty of bad chats. So there we go. Not a crazy defense. Nothing that's out of the ordinary for me. I'm pretty comfortable with that lineup. wouldn't you say? It brings the appropriate amounts of flexibility, heavy tanks, and a nice tank destroyer to supplement damage.
And a very spread lineup coming out here from Teal Team 6 in terms of just their initial deployment. One batch out in the south, one in the mid, one pushing up the middle with the heavy tank.
Just scout runs all over the place.
Yep.
What they're going to do is go out and see what they can see and probably just figure things out from there. That's generally what this is. Hopefully, we'll find that they've mapped things out. And there, oh, there's a little boost. We got to show you that every time it happens because it's important to learn those little things about the map. Can't do that without a friend.
Speaking of maps, we talked about a little bit earlier, HD maps. Have you seen the HD versions of Sand River?
Oh, yes.
So beautiful. If you guys haven't checked those videos out, make sure you get a look at it or get on the Sandbox server if you're invited there. Anyways, back to the match at hand. Bird and Aggressor just firing off some shots as Spiral and Left Hitman get opposite of them along with their bad chat.
Yeah, it looks like Spooky's chilling out in base in his 140, just sniping away as best he can. No targets making themselves available right now. So this is going to slow down for just a minute. We're going to have to see what Teal Team 6 decides to go for. I see one bat chat moving, that's Bananas. And Bananas is heading... which way? Oh, it looks like also we're going to shift out Supernova. So Teal Team 6 deciding to take one of their bats in the mid, rotate it out, and replace that bat with Bananas. Taking the bat that was in the middle of the map and now rotating him south. I would have thought just take Bananas and send him south, but maybe he likes the mid more. I don't know. Supernova and Greg that will lead those bats in south. So this is gearing up more and more to look like something that'll work around the south side of the map, but I'm not sure I see the opening they're looking for at the moment, or whether we see Teal Team 6 intending to create that opening, or what they're planning to exploit. We'll have to follow them along and find out. Supernova's getting spotted, pushing in, finds Durgel. Durgel's forced to abandon his high ground. Okay, I can see the benefits there. But now Knowledge, Dare knows Supernova's there, and they can decide to read into that, see what they want to do about it. That's where counter pushes can come in. This is where those little plays might show up. And James, what are you feeling right now?
Well, if you look at this deployment right now, I've talked about it, how the trick to this map is having opening up the angles. And look at how many angles they're playing right now. They have one tank up here. They have the 140 who hasn't left this spot all game. Tank in the middle ridge, and then they have a bat chat down here to cover. And what this does, this bat chat can shoot this way. This bat chat can shoot either over here or up north. Bat chat has shots into here or across into the lower area if need be, and this one can get angles into here. So no matter what happens, if they try to dump on these heavy tanks right here, look at how many different angles can support all the way through there. So they're really trying to get them, force them with that 5A to cover them, but you know, now here's the tricky part, is they need to find some damage or they need to find a way to get some cap pressure going, and while they're spread out right now, they need to get a tank in position on that one cap, and with Durgel over here in the STRV, and the pattern right there, it's going to be difficult to do that, so they need to start moving some of these tanks to kind of support each other, get the batchet over, maybe with the 5As on the inside, and find some sort of play to isolate that part of the map.
If they wish to take it.
Yep.
All right, that makes some sense. We'll have to follow along, see what comes next, because look at this. Bananas is actually shifting, and so is Greg, out of that southern position we saw them in a moment ago. And that kind of tells us that maybe that was a little bit more of a scouting run, more to feel things out than it was to perhaps bust any kind of a way through the lines of Dare. Maybe. We'll have to see what they decide to do, because Supernova has been left almost completely alone. No real support at all around him. And that's...
Now, take a look at this, Randall.
What?
Durgel right here.
Why is he doing that?
Look at what he's running right now. He's actually going to move for a second.
He's got binos, and he's got a net. Of course,
and
vents.
he's in a Sturf, which when it enters siege mode,
gets nice
camo bonus.
Huh.
So basically, he's a passive scout right now. He's far enough away from that cap. He won't be spotted by a tank on that cap. He won't be spotted until someone tries to come around across this open field in front of him.
Or someone barely finds the right angle, like Supernova is almost maybe about to.
Not the Sturf, not at that range. So that Sturf, what that does, that gives them the light on the one part of the cap that they can't light anywhere else.
But look at that. Batchat's getting a little bit of sneaky damage into Bird before jumping forward and taking some more ground up north. It looks like that's going to be what Teal Team 6 will dedicate themselves to. Unfortunately, they're going to find out the hard way that, yeah, there's some guys already watching the angle. And with that, now that we know where these defenses are, from Teal Team 6's perspective, we guess one of the big questions is what are they going to decide to dedicate to? Are they going to allow for maybe 1 or 2 more minutes of pressure before going for engagements, or what? Because right now, time is another factor. Oh, Durgel, by the way, getting spotted as he's shifting. It's going to be the STRV deciding to get out of his spotting position, taking a shell for 404, and then going up and over a little bit of a cliff. Tricky there. He's actually about half hit points. More shells coming in from Greg in the middle of the map. Okay, this is going to turn into something. Durgel has no real support and looks like he'll be the one holding the southern part of the map, not doing damage elsewhere. At the same time, you've got a lot of shells going back and forth all over the place, as just everyone's trying to find those little angles to get some damage.
Remember how I said they needed to try to find a way to group up their guns to deal with those tanks on that south end of the map?
I do remember.
Instead of grouping up their guns, they just used a decoy, basically. They've pushed their tanks up into the north. They've gotten a little bit aggressive here, but they haven't really committed. They've been trading. Spooky's lost a lot of HP. They've made them think that most of their guns are up here, but there was 2 Batchats completely unspotted for Teal Team 6 this game, and Dare rotated a little bit early. The STRV wanted to make sure his gun was in the fight, didn't think anything would happen, and that was part of Teal Team 6's plan here was, hey, they need to rotate their guns up here, and they had 2 Batchats waiting for someone to get caught out in the open, and Durgel a little bit fortunate that he didn't get permatracked, because he'd be dead right now.
We'll have to see what they go for. That spot Nationwide's in right now is always just so frustrating, probably, to play against. He's just barely hull down, slightly above you in elevation, makes it that much trickier to actually land any shells. Bring a few HE, just throw it out at him, see what happens, but you probably never get the kill. Dark Ninja taking a shell right there from Viral in the middle of the map. Nicely played. Now some shots coming from Supernova from downtown. He is going to get spotted in reply. Greg at the same time actually going into the low ground, taking fire from the Patent. Durgel right above him is actually trying to 1v1 right up here against Supernova.
And Greg wasn't spotted until just now. He's trying to get in behind, but he's having to deal with Dark Ninja up on the hill. He's not committing on this STRV just yet.
Other side of the map, we've got an engagement starting, though. Dark Ninja, Nationwide, and Harmless moving in on Zombie Food and Bananas to the wall host. 3v2, huge advantage for Dare in this case. Harmless kind of holding back. Bananas trying to see what he could do. One more shell from Dark Ninja or Nationwide. Nice play by Bananas taking down Harmless, but that is a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Dare. Only 4 tanks remain for Teal Team 6.
And Bird getting in here, finding some shots onto Greg. Durgel's going to set up in siege mode, and I don't think Greg will make it out of here alive.
Probably not. It's going to be a tricky time. But Durgel takes 1 shell. 1 more will finish him off. Viral and Love Hitman, 2 heavies standing together, trying to see what they can do. Viral looks... Durgel dies falling. That's rough. But that's even better for Dare, because they've still got 5 alive against 3. Supernova is down. Viral and Love Hitman holding together, trying to take down Nationwide, it looks like. Greg's going to go down now, and that's 2 remaining for Teal Team 6. Aggressor and Nationwide playing together, still alive. Nice heavy play, to be honest. And an ammo rack finally kills Viral. I bet he's happy for that, of course. Nice kill onto Nationwide finally. And Love Hitman is left alone versus Dark Ninja.
I think that's a little bit of karma for Teal Team 6 when they played F7 on this map. I think it was Love Hitman got an ammo rack onto another 5A, so...
Yes, he did. And that was...
Happens to everyone.
He was almost full health, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Sometimes your card is up and ticket gets punched.
There we go. So, Love Hitman goes down. Dare picks up battle number 3, putting 2 points on the board now. So, with that one, throughout the entire time, Teal Team 6 was feeling things out. They were just kind of scouting around, trying to see what was what. They generally seemed to have an understanding of what Dare was going for. Dare wasn't doing anything that was too outside of the box from what we've been seeing on Sand River, right?
I think Teal Team 6 were going the right direction. However, in the past, I've said, to do this right, it's a very delicate game to play those angles and do it. And if you notice, there was a few little things that just didn't go the way that Teal Team 6 needed them to. The Batchats on the south there, once they committed and they were spotted, they didn't get that pick onto Durgel right away until he ended up dropping off. Greg kind of hesitated, ended up leaving, bled a lot of HP. If they had been a little bit more decisive and committed onto Durgel, make sure he went down and then got it together, and been willing to bleed a little bit of HP, pay the toll, that may have opened it up. But the problem was they got spotted, and then at that point, Dare understood where their overmatches were. Because when you can spot all 7 of the tanks, it's a lot easier to understand, hey, there's 2 here, there's 2 here, hey, we have 4 up here, let's just go for it.
Yeah, and that's what we saw up north with the 3v2.
Yeah.
Like right there was just, oh, hey, we've got this overmatch, we know what we're going to lose, but that's not as valuable as these 2 pickups we can get, as opposed to the 1. Now, with Durgel dropping off, that one, I'm not going to hold that too far against him.
He was a one-shot in a very bad situation where he didn't have anywhere to go.
And he would have died had he not jumped off anyway.
So he took the gamble, tried to slide, didn't work though, got the mare. You know,
it was pretty slick.
You know, no one ever likes to do it. It still feels bad. It's a little bit embarrassing, but at the same end, you'd really have to be a little bit more realistic and go, was he going to really be able to do anything in that situation? He might have been able to get another shot off. He stayed in siege mode, but
he wasn't. I took a moment because we weren't on my observer, and I just checked everyone who had an angle on him. There were 3 people looking at him when he jumped off the cliff, and 2 shells even missed. And there we go, post game.
Dark Ninja, top damage dealer of this game. Pretty strong performance from a lot of them, including Bird as well. And then looking at Durgel here, 420 damage, or 420, 42 fantasy points.
There you go.
There we go. Math's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways,
let's
on
look
to
at the lineups, James. There's 2 5As, 3 bat jets, and 2 object 140s for Teal Team 6. Dare is going to go with some 5As. It's 1, 2, 3 of them, and then 3 bat jets and a T100. Are you surprised?
No.
Not too much. 5A attack, bat jets go bat chat things, and Dark Ninja's just going to do what scouts do and spot the bad men. So let's follow Dark Ninja as he spots the bad men.
He's going to spot Supernova, try to put a shot into him, but that 200 gun with the low shell velocity, not quite working out.
Nope.
Supernova just heading towards the south. Going to go spot things down there.
Oh, look at this. Across the north, Greg.
Dark
Bananas
Ninja.
No. But right now, let's pay attention to this. We've got a crazy push across the north right now. Bananas and Greg right now squaring off against Harmless. This is kind of a block play. 1, 2, 3 is going to move in as well. That could mean this is going to be a huge overmatch in the north. Could work against Teal Team 6, especially if Derek gets their stuff together in just a sec. But bit of a bold play coming out of Teal Team 6, who have not taken any damage yet this battle, while everybody on their team seems to have. So let's go ahead and actually take a moment, listen in with Teal Team 6, because there's got to be something crazy going on with their comms. Let's listen in.
Yo, their bat jets are getting out. Bat jets are getting out.
Can I put a clip out onto Durgel? Or is that just a waste? Or aggressive?
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, you can now because they backed off.
Could we like fuck one of these groups? Like really hard?
Yeah, can we just push this?
What's that?
I can't track it.
Yes.
Damn, that's a shit fuck.
I'm reloading.
They bled massive amounts.
Yeah, they're rotating.
Yeah, it's a
We're
good
looking for
piece
shots
so
on
far.
me.
Let's just not throw, keep it up.
1, 2, 3 in the open.
Bird's still trying to pressure me and Banana. Can anybody get around on him?
Possibly. Hey man, do you have shots?
I have Nationwide looking at me.
Can we just push this?
Can we just put?
Hey,
Yeah,
be
just
careful,
push this.
these
Go,
guys-
go,
I
go,
don't
go.
think we should. I don't think we should.
Yes,
Then we
these-
won't.
okay,
No,
okay,
no,
then,
no.
okay, done.
Like we have a huge advantage. Why like?
Yeah,
just don't hit
yeah.
points on
Can
us.
this 140
Hey,
get
man,
shots
what do
on
you
I
him?
mean?
know,
Start by.
I'm getting shot by this
they're
guy.
lit,
He's
yeah.
2 down.
Nationwide's getting out.
I had to
Okay,
fall off.
Hitman, come over here.
Where?
Can we get a relight? Never
Try to
mind.
get over here and get
No.
like
Just
Actually,
Bird's
no,
looking
you
for
can't.
shots.
Where's here?
where your normal spot is.
Okay.
No, don't do it now. It's too late.
Okay. I'm going to go low. I'm gonna try and look for shots on Bird. Iron 1, 2,
I mean, this guy's gonna get picked.
No, I'm not.
Eventually.
I'm fine.
Yeah, they're gonna start trying to look for it. Hitman is gonna struggle to. Can we get? Do we think we could have actually gotten this 140 down there?
Yeah, go for
140
it.
head that way.
We'll start blind firing. Okay.
We still have a little bit of time. Let's think about how we want to deal with what they're doing right now.
Dude, we could literally just leave and go this way with everything.
Yeah, can we get this bat out and just go
Yeah,
push
definitely.
this?
I mean, I wanna. We don't really know what's over here, so I don't want to leave yet.
Just
I
throw it
can,
out.
if there's a
Just look it right.
possibility I'll get bled. Once Bird shoots at host, I'm gonna
Spooky,
pop.
down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, now.
Okay.
Be careful. No, Greg's gonna be stuck there, and then
I can get out.
You might be able to get out right now.
I just no,
Oh,
I can't because Dirzel's looking at me. I'm worried about a bad.
Alright, get down in this dip here, like Spooky on the right. Like
Guys,
look
they're
to
not-
left. Take a left. Take a left.
Wait,
Take a left.
Greg, could you leave this way?
Not without Bird putting at least one into me.
I mean, it's just one shot.
I got lit going here.
And then
yeah,
their heavies
that's
in the their heavies in the mid are looking at me now, so no, I
So,
can't.
We need to get resets.
You want me
Yeah,
to go?
Spooky, go. Yeah, go. Look, try to go up and look for shots now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get out now. I think it's the best opportunity I have.
Q&O just lit. He's
Hey,
off
Spooky,
cap.
get
Okay,
safe,
back
get
up.
safe, get safe.
Yep.
Spooky, that's not
Hey,
safe.
they're looking north. Oh, Greg, why the fuck did you leave? Because you just killed
You guys
Host.
told me to.
No.
No, we said no. We didn't
No.
say. We were
Come
talking
on, Greg, come
about
up here. Greg, come up here. Greg,
Okay,
come
okay,
up here
okay,
if you
okay.
can. If you can.
Armless is down 1.
Hey.
Alright, you guys need to go round. You guys don't need to go round.
Are we dumb?
Yes, we need to dump. We need to dump on this. Take zombie and this and dump.
Here, I'm coming where you are. I can't go over.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Coming.
Greg, that fucked Host.
Okay, we need
You
to-
literally
California.
told me to
No,
get out.
we told you not to fucking leave after Nova originally
Shut up,
suggested.
shut up. We still have a
That's
battle.
fine.
God, shut up. Jesus
I
Christ.
confirm aggressor.
All right, so we're gonna let them figure things out amongst themselves for now. I think we let that go far enough. Let's get back into the match, James, and talk about that little move where we just saw Greg get out. That was where a little miscommunication happened. That could actually.
Remember that conversation we had earlier about counting tanks in over matches? When everything's spotted, it's really easy to understand. And when you're a team like Dare, you're going to take advantage of it, and you got a free tank out of it. And now they're going to dump over, try to find the pick onto Bird. At the same time, the heavies are pushing around. They're trying to use what little HP lead they have left to win this and just bully Dare.
But Greg moves in right behind Bird and yes, gets the kill shot. Not bad for Teal Team 6. They're sitting on 4 versus the 5 of Dare. But hit points wise, Teal Team 6 is okay. They're not in a bad spot. Now it's a 4v4. This is manageable by Teal Team 6. Their early game is going to work for them here into the late game. No matter how much Dare may put up a fight, they lost too many hit points. And so even though Teal Team 6 may have made some little mistakes here, they are still able to recover. That's the important thing I want to note here, is because we just heard some messy comms. That does not mean that this is totally over yet. These guys have just recovered. Sounds like they're probably getting things under control. And now it's a 2v4, James.
Yeah, we've talked about in the past the difference between having just one caller as your main caller and kind of the team calling atmosphere where everyone kind of makes decisions. What we just listened to, I'll just leave it at this, is probably one of the main key points against a lack of control,
Sometimes
a
things
lot
get
of lively
confused.
discussions.
Yeah.
Now don't necessarily think they hate each other or anything, just how they talk to each other. Sometimes just the lively, heated discussions or how teams work things out. But you know, take it for what it's worth. They'll work through it though, and that is going to make it 2-2. Now it has its pluses. That's the sort of systems have their pluses and minuses, but you need to make sure you have a bunch of personalities that are fine, you know, that can keep cool heads. And you know, I've said it in the past, some of the people on Teal Team 6 aren't necessarily known for having cool heads. So
Yeah, they're a little bit, you know, more expressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one way to put it.
It is exactly the way to put it. They will not sit there and you know, keep their opinions to themselves. They will let you know. And so you know where they stand because they will not hide that.
Yeah.
And that's something to appreciate.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you're running that system, it's something you almost have to do to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, you have to have the right personalities, and sometimes personalities don't necessarily match well in those systems.
So, reviewing that battle, that was back and forth, a little crazy. Early on, though, Dare took so much damage from Teal Team 6's early play, which ended up panning out for them in the long run.
Well, and some
there
little
were
things.
so many low health tanks, though, for Dare that Teal Team 6, when they finally got their heads on straight, even after some mistakes, just the hit point difference was enough that they could recover from it.
Yep, and looking at it here, what I was just about to talk about, Dark Ninja, 2,500 damage, 62 fantasy points, second overall in the series. Remember, he took 900 of his own HP at the start of the game. Bird also in the 5A, another 2,300. Love Hitman, though, top damage dealer for Teal Team 6, 75 fantasy points. Zombie Food getting another 3 kills as well. Scary Spooky Skeleton, only able to get off 1,800, but, you know, did what he needed to for his team.
Yeah, it does what it does. So, Spooky, though, I think that was one of the unfortunate little parts over there. His position did not work out.
Yep.
Object 140 versus 5A.
For an extended period of time at anything outside of it in a very long range, not likely.
Yeah, not
140 turret is not what it used to be.
Generally, a 140 isn't supposed to be plopped in the same spot against a heavy tank. You're not going to win the RNG game.
Yeah.
Probabilities are against you.
Heat shells from 5A, especially at close range, they should be able to deal with that turret from the 140 relatively
Heat shells
easily.
don't care about range.
Exactly.
Heat shells don't care.
Well, it's not so much the penetration values, it's the accuracy of being able to hit them.
I don't care anymore. We got 5 IS-7s for Teal Team 6, a Bat Chat and a TVP.
But this lineup from Dare Rising, an IS-7, 2 mice, a Foshby, an FB-183, an Object 140, and a TVP.
I like this. Okay, we're in for something fun. All right, so we got that TVP, nothing crazy there, right? Okay, but then we got a Foch B, which, I mean, it's got 6 shells in a clip, ladies and gentlemen.
And then behind that Foch B, we have the Boomstick.
Oh, that's
the
140.
183
Sorry.
coming out.
That's the 183 right there. Yeah, Boomstick. And he's going to be running kit, med kit, rations. Good boy.
So they're hoping to catch someone out pushing A5 right now.
He brought 1 AP shell. Do you see that?
Yeah, the rest are Hesh. Only carries 11 shots.
It barely has
shots.
time to fire all of those shells. All right, so this is going to be a north push. Which, you know, those happen. That's all I got. That's all I got. They just happen sometimes. Mouse is going to push up. That's Durgel doing the little mouse armor angle-y thing that mice love to do. And going towards the cap. Looks like we'll stack an IS-7 and maybe another mouse behind him. Foch B and FV to just cover their long range. An Object 140 to watch the fountain at the middle of the map so that, you know, you've got someone watching your 6. Okay, altogether I see what is happening here. However, my skepticism is that one of the major things I'm seeing that could be arguably missing from this strat is vision up far ahead of these tanks. It's quite easy to go unspotted and return fire on the cap.
It's an older meta, but it checks out.
Yeah, I guess. Just the one thing that could end up working against Dare here is if they can get spotting, they could be able to hold on to this from safer distances. However, they brought a bunch of IS-7s. And IS-7s, James, aren't exactly scouts. They are a little bit...
No, they're not. Supernova actually gets the drop onto Bird over at the fountain on the other side of the map. So keep an eye on those HPs as they go down, as cap pressure is underway right now.
And there we see Viral Bananas moving up. They'll be proxy spotting everything on cap and trying to get HE shells into a Durgel or into Harmless as they see fit or as they can. And the big thing to watch out for here is everything from Teal Team 6 is coming from just about the same direction. So this is a lot easier for those tank destroyers of Foch and 123 to actually get connections. I'm actually going to jump back onto some of them because FV's got a beautiful angle towards the northern coverage on the cap. I doubt anyone's going to go for it.
To get the resets.
Oh, there are people going for it. Zombie Food's going to go.
It's Harmless has the hit points though. You know what I said about the older meta, you know, this is exactly it. Use one tank, just say, hey, this tank's going to die, and just have the other ones behind. But it looks like Viral's going to push around, make sure he gets the reset. Hasn't actually gotten it yet, though, and he's being punished by that Foch B, who has him perma-tracked, and he may go down before he even gets the reset.
Foch B takes him down.
Oh, but the reset comes in just barely onto Harmless, and I don't even think it was Viral, but throwing his tank away in the process by getting perma-tracked there. Necessary play, but unfortunate. That Foch B has that strength, that clip. Such a potent autoloader.
That it is. And now Love Hitman and Greg have moved into some difficult angles for Dare to deal with. From here, the Foch B 123, Dark Ninja, Aggressor, they don't have angles to cover Harmless. So Harmless is pretty much cut off right now, and that's going to prompt Dare to make some kind of a push. They have to in order to stay competitive in this battle. Harmless can take only one more shell. Greg and Love Hitman have luckily dropped a few, and that's allowed Aggressor to move in. Nice shells into Greg, allowing Dark Ninja to move in and a mouse. Nice connection, and then the Foch B, finally fully loaded, is just going to focus on Love Hitman.
Too many of the guns backed off from the north. They underestimated exactly how many guns were up here for Dare and how many they needed to keep these I-7s alive, and they've just committed right now, and they do take down the Foch B.
Wow. Nicely done.
Yeah, and Dare, well, they thought they could seize that. It seems the response from Teal Team 6 has been good enough.
The IS-7s were able to shrug off enough damage and respond aggressively enough together that the tank destroyers weren't able to respond well. that was the problem. There's Teal Team 6 did not get scared enough by those positions, or alternately maybe just not enough connections by those Dare tanks. This looked like a perfect scenario for Dare. It looked like everything they could have won, aside from maybe the tank choices being a little bit more difficult for an FV-183 to deal with. I think the post-game stats will probably reveal how much damage was blocked rather well. I can see that Love Hitman's got 1,000 himself. Bananas hasn't even taken a shell. Greg's barely blocked any. No, altogether it doesn't look like armor was the biggest factor here. It looks like more so just those IS-7s got where they needed to be.
Yeah, so I kind of wondered there for a moment. Teal Team 6, they backed off a lot of their tanks. They only had the 2 IS-7s in that pocket, and then the other IS-7 over at B6, the Crossfire. It didn't look like that was going to be enough to really keep those IS-7s alive, and they backed the rest off, try to open up the rest of the map, make sure they didn't get the 2-cap taken from them.
Yeah.
But the Crossfire was good. They made their shots count. They took down that Foch B before he could get his clip off, and they managed to make it work. So obviously a good bit of practice and coordination there coming out from Teal Team 6. Understood what they needed where and whose assignment was what in that response. And
yeah, it's in general. If you're looking at the way Dare played this, they should have been able to win. Teal Team 6 did some good things in their response, but ultimately Dare's also going to be looking at this and saying, we made huge mistakes. We didn't connect shells that we were supposed to. We dropped the ball, is what they're going to say. I'm willing to bet, because that's not how that attack should have panned out. There were openings that should not have been allowed. I think tank choices might be something to criticize a little bit. You had a Foch B, a 183, and a TVP. Those are 3 tanks that have very different gaps in their ability to fire. The 183 fires about every, is it 23, 24?
So yeah, it's about 24 seconds.
24 seconds, depending on what you bring. You've got the TVP, which is relatively fast firing, but rather delicate in that situation.
High burst.
High burst. And then you've got the Foch, which is a damage monster.
Yeah.
And I just, you should have seen more than 2k damage out of Nationwide. You should have seen more than 1,231 damage out of My Little Putin in his FV-183. And you should have seen more than 1,800 damage out of Aggressor. Aggressor and Nationwide are the top 2 damage-dealing tanks that battle, but that's still not enough. Dark Ninja only gets to deal about 968.
If on a city map, your top damage for anyone on your team is 2k, there's probably a problem, especially with the mouse meta right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, this was defeated with a group of IS-7s. Tanks which are tricky. They're tricky to shoot because the Shuka, the spear on the
pike nose.
The pike nose, yes, thank you. It's just.
And Greg continuing to have a strong night. 4k damage, 2 kills, 90 fantasy points. Love Hitman also 3,500, 0 kills, 80 fantasy points. Banana the Wall Host 3k, 3 kills, and 84 fantasy points. Nationwide and Aggressor, like we said, top damage dealers, but not really able to get into the fight. Bird doing what he could there at the end, but not really able to farm that much. Only 1,324 fantasy points. He's had some strong games, but this was not one of them.
Yeah, and there it is. Just a lot of 50% on damage dealt or shots hit. Let's move past that. Let's move to the other side now of Ruinberg. Let's go ahead and put Dare on defense. Let's put Teal Team 6 on offense, and let's see what happens. Because now you're looking at a Teal Team 6 lead over Dare. This is our second/third place team, Dare, who's been performing rather well.
Is this the same lineup we just saw to Teal Team 6?
Yeah, it is. It's literally the same thing. 5 IS-7s.
2 Batchat and a TVP.
Yeah.
I'm almost wondering if they thought they were on the attacking side last game.
And they just messed up.
They messed up and just made it work. We'll have to ask Greg if they win this.
IS-7s.
Knowing Teal Team 6, because that was a lineup we hadn't seen before on defense. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense just in terms of the lineup, but they made it work, so I'll give them that. But I don't know if it was deliberate.
I don't know either. That's what's weird. But now, these IS-7s, again, rolling out right down the middle. Love Hitman taking 383, getting tracked there. That's bouncing another shell. 2 more bounces onto Bananas the Wall Host. And that's what you need to pay attention to in this opening run. Notice that no one's really taking a lot of damage. That's why IS-7s are awesome on the move. James, we both have plenty of experience of sending a horde of IS-7s forward, because guess what? There's so many of them that it's kind of confusing to figure out who to shoot at. And, well, they have great spaced armor on the sides.
And not to mention the pike nose that we were talking about.
Precisely.
Shooting at range, very difficult to deal with. And now Teal Team 6 are in a decent position. However, the TVP and Bat Chat need to make themselves effective here if this is going to pan out for the side of Teal Team 6.
Yes, we need to see a little bit more, because Durgil just took a lot of damage there. So Durgil being at 623, we need to see something happen. Right now in the city, Harmless, 123, and Nationwide are moving up, but because they're so slow, they're not able to really put a strong response out yet. So 123 has just gotten himself spotted. Nationwide's getting spotted. Yeah, now everyone on Teal Team 6 knows where the Dare tanks are. Just about everything from Dare is spotted. And that's going to make this difficult. Teal Team 6 should be able to come up with a response. They should be able to find the focus. They should be able to get something, make it happen. Supernova, though, taking a lot of damage in the north, is down to 381 and almost flips himself, but does avoid a shot.
There's
from
no
Aggressor.
real plan for Teal Team 6 to deal with the zero line with how they're set up right now. TVP coming in late, but that's not the most ideal tank to deal with this. Nationwide takes a lot of damage. He's down to 444. Able to back off into safety, it looks like, the last moment. Dark Ninja doing what he can to rifle off shots. TVP is just now starting to close, and he is spotted, so support fire should come in for Dark Ninja. Oh, he's actually just going to drop into the houses there, knowing that he can't go get that TVP. And the cap is going to come through, and that is going to be Teal Team 6 taking that right out from under Dare.
Yeah. Wow. Everyone is still alive after that battle. Everyone. All right, James.
That happened.
I'll admit. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so what just happened is you can see that James and I are confused. The reason we're confused, James, is because we expected Dare to be handling Teal Team 6 a lot better than this. But, like we noted earlier on, if Teal Team 6 can get themselves off to a good start, they might be able to make something happen for them, which is Dare, from time to time, does rely a bit more on momentum. If they can't find a good way into a series, they've kind of gone downhill.
Of all the hypotheticals we had before this game, Ruinberg was the one map where we really didn't...
We missed it.
We didn't really credit Teal Team 6 with really being able to take some rounds off Dare, but Dare, the only way I can say is they really just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Didn't get the resets. Dark Ninja, shooting that T100 at that range, wasn't able to get any shots in. The I-7's doing a good job at shimmering back and forth there, being hard to hit, and there's not going to be really too much to see here. Greg doing top damage, 43 fantasy points, but in a fast cap where everyone's still alive, there's not going to be a lot of damage or fantasy points coming through there.
Yeah, that was so weird. Okay, only 2k damage. There's not much to read into those post-game stats even. There's no one even got to deal much damage overall. I guess, wow, Supernova didn't get to do anything.
Teal Team 6 is like to prove us wrong this season. We've been, a lot of people have been doubting them, myself included, and
I'm okay with this. Actually,
I like surprises. I will give them that. And they're playing well. I like what like I said, I've said over the last couple match days, I've really been impressed by what I've seen out of them. However, one match day after another, continuing to surprise us, and now they're taking it to our third place team, Dare Rising, and they are on match point. They already got 1 point out of this. No matter what, they got 1 point, even if Dare wins both on Murrow.
Hey, James.
What?
Hey, James.
What am I missing, Randall?
I'm gonna wait for this video to finish. I'm gonna wait for this to finish.
No.
And when you see the tank lineups, James, when you see the tank lineups, oh yeah.
That is Bird playing a Conqueror gun carriage.
I love it.
Hey, unknown one, if you're out there, does stun get me fantasy points? I really need to know that. Dark Ninja 105, a Bat Chat, a Mouse 215B, and a 5A. Top of some Bat Chats from Dare Rising.
Tips.
Teal Team 697, a 5A, a Bat Chat, a TVP, a 103, a Bat Chat, and a T100. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's good to have Artie again.
Is it?
I mean, like, kinda. There's a shot out from Nationwide, Supernova doing the scout run. Then as the wall host, moving forward fast. Because Artie is on the map, Teal Team 6 may be pulling an audible and saying, guys, because they have, Artie, let's decide to finish this quickly before that GC decides to ruin our day. The Conch is now looking, firing, shot out towards a tank destroyer. It will splash onto Viral. You're gonna see Viral. Viral took a little bit of damage. He's gonna receive a short-term debuff, which almost is never a factor in the league, oddly enough. And Artie's gonna relocate, oddly enough. Bird deciding to...
And Harmless actually has not been spotted in this town, so he should be able to get at least one reset if need be. He's going to move forward at the same time Durgel is. He's still not spotted. He's in their blind spot. 10 seconds on cap.
5 seconds on reload for Artie.
He's going to come forward, and he's going to find one shot onto...
Shot out.
There, and there comes another reset, and that's Artie. And multiple stuns coming through there. Now Harmless is going to back up and get safe, as Zombie Food is trying to get aggressive on that ridge, but it looks like the guns from Dare are in position to punish.
1, 2, 3, trying to square off. Looks Bananas to the wall host, moving in right now to try and ambush onto 1, 2, 3. Looks gets 1 shell, maybe a second, probably not. No. And you might have to back off. Zombie backing off as well. Artie with 9 seconds left looks towards cap again, and we'll probably see Aggressor try and proxy one more time, see what he can see. As he moves on up.
Just going to take the blind shot, enough splash there that he should be able to get the reset even if he doesn't get the direct hit.
There, complete reset.
Of both tanks, just enough to damage the track of Greg there as well.
Nice. All right, so this is kind of why Artie's amazing, because these fast caps don't really work. You got about 25 seconds of reload on a Conch GC, but in this attack defense mode, cap takes much longer than that. And, well, it's hard to get it, so it's faster cap than Artie can reload. There's your problem. So, unless you could have, made this happen on the 2 cap, where maybe you could have gotten away with denying vision, it's not going to happen on the North cap.
Team 6.
There again, another reset. Bird is going to be drowning in fantasy points.
They're fine with this, though. Teal Team 6 are perfectly okay with this. If you look at this, Teal Team 6 are just distracting them with this cap. They know that they're going to wait for Artie to get the resets. They're not going to poke up and over.
Yeah.
But that also means that they can move their tanks around freely. And so Dare don't have the intel. They don't know that most of these tanks have backed off for Dare Rising. Or for Teal Team 6. So, this Artie is actually almost working against Dare to a certain extent.
Yeah. Well, hey, James, why don't we take a little listen and see how that's going on comms? Yeah. All right, well, let's just turn it on. There we go.
Heavy tanks.
Watch out for Stir.
We need to smash these heavies right now as these bats are reloading, as everything's reloading. Okay. Let's get something first. I7 maybe.
Wherever we can.
I have 15 seconds.
Guys, play out, play low because the STRV.
I'm gonna try to punish the Sturv, so he doesn't have much shots. Chill out.
I'm already in.
Alright. Almost have 7 seconds.
Light tank's gonna kill me.
And Teal Team 6 are about to take a 5-3 victory over Dare Rising as Bird does go down to Supernova. Batch has both 1 shot apiece.
Wow.
And that should just
That's gonna do it.
Tanks.
No, that's it, James. That's it. 1, 2, 3, and Harmless are the only tanks left. And he's got 1 shell.
All our predictions were for Dare Rising to win.
Everyone thought Dare was going to win.
And Teal Team 6 surprising us all, and they're about to get that 5-2 victory.
Yeah, turning it on its head. Taking our prediction, saying, nah, you guys got
wrecking my fantasy team in the process.
Yeah, we both got wrecked today, sir. So did many of you out there.
Yeah.
This is a nice upset. This is the kind of thing that shouldn't happen, but when it does, James, this is why we're here.
If someone out there stacked Teal Team 6 and they're looking for that Hail Mary to try to get Type 59 or just get into the stand-ins,
yeah,
that's it right there.
No.
That's all you need is 2 players from Teal Team 6. If you had that forethought to think that was actually going to be a thing that happened, you could have just won yourself Type 59 just based upon that prediction right there, which is absolutely absurd.
But at the same time,
it happened though.
Throughout the series, we noticed a few Dare players were putting up solid numbers. So we'll have to wait until afterwards because we saw a few low damage games overall. where neither team did
Fast
accept.
caps,
Yeah.
multiple of them.
Which actually is going to result in lower fantasy points. So for those of you who like fantasy points at home,
Yeah, the
you're
only
gonna lose
good
that
news
one.
is the other matches that we expect to be a lot more one-sided, which also would not translate into many fantasy points. And we can actually update you guys on those. It is going to be Elevate up 2-0 over F7 after Sand River, and it is 2-1 in favor of top tier with Mines, both of those rounds going to top tier. So overall, you know, about going as expected in those matches. Eclipse losing, though, is a little bit surprising, but I think it's a little bit early on in that series to really gauge fairly.
Yeah, well, but back to this. Overall, that series was unexpected. And looking at the last battle stats, IS7 from Love Hitman with Bananas and Viral all putting up solid damage. And after that 1-2-3 Bird in the Conch GC. The Conch GC did its job exceptionally well.
Got 100 base defense points, but did not translate well into fantasy points, obviously, only getting 31.
It's too bad. Zombie Food putting up decent. Spooky being rather middle of the pack, one could say, for the whole season.
But having
series.
his gun up there, kept it firing, you know, got 3 kills at the end there, so he did his job in that TVP. And now looking at the series, Love Hitman, 377 zone we haven't really talked about. Bird actually coming up with a strong 368.
He's always good. Every day, even when they lose, is always solid.
Yep. Greg and Banana the Wall is also having pretty solid points there. Almost 350 for Banana the Wall host, and Greg 353. And Dark Ninja, you know, coming in with 260. It's respectable. Second page here, no, it's nothing too surprising except for Supernova, who's normally a very common pick, having a rather poor match day. But if you guys noticed, we like against F7 and against Knight, Supernova, while he's been calling, he's put himself into a lot of those positions which have not been good for him individually, doing what's good for the whole of the team, and that's been working great for him, but that's translated into Supernova not being the greatest fantasy pick. So, you know, overall, it's good stuff, and now we are going to be joined by Greg for a winner interview. Obviously, he needs to go back to eating peanut butter before every single one of his games. It seems to be a good luck charm for him.
Yeah, Greg, welcome back to the show, sir. Admittedly, James and I were wrong. What was going on?
Hold on.
Yeah, you got this? You got this? Oh, you got this.
First off, I am extremely happy. Second off, 100% respect goes out to Dare. These guys have been fantastic 100% of the season. They were the only team that really gave us a chance when we first got into Gold. When we first started, nobody really knew us. Nobody wanted to scrim us. I wasn't even getting messages back from most of the captains. Durzel got back to me a couple days later. We set up a scrim, and ever since then, we've been scrimming each other a lot. We've been playing a lot. 100% respect goes out to those guys.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them, I guarantee we wouldn't be where we are right now.
So if you hadn't been practicing with a team like Dare, if they hadn't given you the chance you wouldn't have been able to even beat them today.
100%. They have helped us more than I could ever relay.
All right. Now, we did have a sneaking suspicion during one of those games, and I want to ask you if it's true or not, Greg. Your Ruinberg defense, the lineup that came in there was the same lineup you brought the next round on offense. Looks a lot like an offense lineup you've run before. Was that a little bit of, hey, guys, we're on the other side, we're not really?
So one of the things about being a Teal Team 6, you know, is we're still learning a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget the basics because we're so hyped up, we're amped.
Yeah.
And we thought we were defending, and we were attacking.
So
that was a little meme.
Let's talk about that a little bit. The IS7s ended up working out somehow.
New meta, 100%.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Are IS7s
every other team
the counter to like Foshes and 183s and TVPs and stuff? Or is like that the counter? Do they just shrug off shells?
I tell you what, though, man, it's been a good night, dude. It had to happen at some point this season. I feel like I went off tonight. There was a match or two I didn't do so good, but overall, I did really well with the player. Everything just worked out fantastic for us. Our team gelled amazingly. Nova and Viral were on point with the strats and on the calls. Besides that one defense on Ruin, it was perfect. I couldn't ask for a better night.
Absolutely. All right, Greg, I think that about does it for us. Any final thoughts for your fans out there?
Have a good night, guys. Stay hydrated.
All right, stay hydrated, and we'll see you on the battlefield, Greg. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Love you too, Greg.
Love you too, Greg. All right.
Wow.